Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever stopped to wonder why a violin and a trumpet sound so different, even when they're playing the exact same note? Well, it turns out every sound you hear has a kind of hidden recipe, a secret list of ingredients that makes it totally unique. Today, we're going to crack the code on that secret recipe.
So what are these secret ingredients? I mean, if you could take any sound, like the snap of your fingers or the sound of your own voice, and break it down into its most basic, fundamental parts, what would you even find? The answer, it turns out, is surprisingly simple and also incredibly powerful.
You know how when you shine white light through a prism, it splits open into a beautiful rainbow? You're actually seeing all the different colors or frequencies of light that were hiding inside that white light all along. Well, believe it or not, sound works almost the exact same way. We can take any complex sound and, like a prism, split it apart to reveal its own kind of rainbow. A whole spectrum of simple, pure tones that were mixed together to create it.
And this, right here, this is the big idea. This is the key to the whole thing. Any sound you can possibly imagine, no matter how complicated, can be built just by adding together a bunch of simple, pure tones. That's it. You just need the right combination of tones, each with its own specific frequency and loudness. It's just like a chef building an amazing dish from just a few core ingredients.
So, if we can build any sound from these simple tones, that means there has to be a recipe for every sound, right? And in the world of acoustics, that recipe has a name. It's called the spectrum.
Okay, check this out. This visual just lays it all out perfectly. Up top you see three different pure tones, right? Just nice, simple, smooth waves. Now look what happens when we just add them all together. You get this much more complex, kind of jagged-looking waveform down at the bottom. And that thing on the right? That's it. That's the recipe. That is the spectrum. Each one of those vertical lines is an ingredient. Its position tells you the frequency, and how tall it is tells you how much of it to add to the mix.
Now that recipe graph, it has a proper scientific name, the magnitude spectrum. It's basically a precise visual blueprint for a sound. It shows you exactly which pure tones are in there and at what level. This is the key to a sound's unique fingerprint, what musicians often call its timbre.
So, you might be wondering, how do we actually do this? How do we take a complex sound and split it apart to get this recipe? Well, the magic behind this whole process is a mathematical tool called Fourier analysis. It's this incredibly powerful technique that acts like our digital prism for sound. It lets us find the secret recipe for literally any sound wave we can get our hands on.
But here's where it gets really fascinating. This amazing tool, Fourier analysis, it doesn't just let us do whatever we want, it comes with a fundamental rule, a sort of cosmic catch, and it's called the time-frequency trade-off.
Let's look at the top image here to really get this. We've got a long, continuous, pure tone. And its spectrum next to it, it's just a single razor-sharp spike. That means we know its frequency with absolute, perfect precision. Okay, now look at the bottom image. This is a super short, instantaneous click. A sound that is incredibly precise in time. But look at its spectrum. It's completely smeared out across all the frequencies. We know exactly when it happened, but we have no idea what its specific frequency is.
So here's the deal. It's a trade-off. If a sound is simple and precise in frequency, like that long tone, it has to be spread out and kind of vague in time. And if a sound is simple and precise in time, like that click, it has to be spread out and vague in frequency. You can know exactly what frequencies are in a sound, or you can know exactly when they happened. But, and this is the kicker, you can never know both with perfect precision at the same time. It's a fundamental limit.
And this isn't just some weird technical quirk. It's a deep truth about how our universe works. The source material puts it perfectly. There is a time-frequency trade-off in our ability to represent the characteristics of a sound. It's just a law of physics we have to work with.
So if we're stuck with this trade-off, how in the world can we analyze something complex and constantly changing, like music or speech? Well, thankfully, engineers and scientists came up with an absolutely brilliant solution that lets us see a sound's recipe as it changes from moment to moment.
And it's called a spectrogram. You know, if a spectrum is like a single photograph of a sound's recipe, a snapshot in time, then a spectrogram is like a movie of that recipe. It shows us how all those frequency ingredients are changing and evolving over time.
And here's how you read one. It's actually pretty straightforward. Time moves from left to right, along the bottom. Frequency goes from low to high as you go up the side. And the loudness of each frequency, well, that's shown by how bright or dark it is. In this case, the darker the spot, the louder that specific frequency is at that exact moment in time.
Now this is just so cool. This slide shows that time-frequency trade-off in action. We are looking at two spectrograms of the exact same sound. The only difference is how we analyzed it. On the left, we used a really short analysis window. See how the vertical events are nice and sharp? That's great detail in time. But the horizontal frequency bands, they're all blurry. Now look at the right. We used a longer window. Suddenly, those horizontal frequency bands are crystal clear, but the events in time are all smeared together. It's the trade-off, right there for you to see.
So we've gone from this simple idea of a sound having a hidden recipe to a tool that lets us actually watch that recipe change in real time. We can literally see sound. Which leaves me with one final thought for you. Now that you can see a sound's ingredients, what do you think the spectrogram of your own voice actually looks like?